Okay, I'll edit that little bit of camera mucking around out. Once we get going. Pause, excellent connection. Pause, unmute. Hello. Rightio. Now, I haven't actually done anything since last week. I haven't touched the desk at all. I've just been trying to fix my 3D printer. The thermistor seems to have died on it. So yet another expense for that thing. I was printing Manuel from Electronics Old and New. He's designed a AM transmitter, and it's got to be better than the one I've got, because the one I've got only transmits about 3 feet, if you're lucky. Yeah, so this was the first effort, and this is the base of the loop antenna, and the printer did a thermal runaway about 85% or something like that. And this took 8 hours to print, so it's not a fast job by any means. This morning I tried it again and I got as far as this, and I got a thermal runaway. And this afternoon I tried it again and I got this. So then a thermal runaway. So I've taken the thermistor area apart, and it is indeed full of thermal paste, and it is rock hard. So I'm going to have to get another thermistor for it and not put thermal paste on it. So yeah, thank you Creately for another disaster with those printers. There won't be anything left of it by the time I've got it running how I want it. Okay, have we got any viewers yet? No. Okay, so we are going out, I believe. So I've just viewed on the TV in the lounge room, so yes. Okay, so last week, where am I at? Yeah, last week we looked at a clock radio, and I was going to, I've got it at the cupboard, and yeah, it's not a bad, yeah, it's a brand new clock, new old stock. And I was going to put it into the clock radio, which is on the floor next to me here, but I won't pick it up. And it is, it's exactly the same, only the wiring is a bit different on it. So I'll have to spend some time looking at that. Okay, so we'll go back. I'm still operating on the Sony F3. The other two Sonys, while they're connected, actually this one might work. So we'll try this one. Doesn't seem to want to work on the AC. If not, it's saying it's got AC. Yeah, okay. So I can change that over. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Last week we started on the clock radio. We didn't get very far because of the wiring on it. Then the backup plan was to do this little, this Philips Cosmopolitan. It's from the late 60s, early 70s, I would think. And it's probably one of the last Philips radios made in Australia. But I couldn't get the can off. I'll bring it down a little bit. Wait. Yeah. So I couldn't get this can off, as you can see here. Enough to get into there to change the capacitors. Then we looked at this Panasonic from probably the mid 70s or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, I ran out of time, or yeah. So we might do both of these transistors today. So this takes D cells, which is pretty amazing for a little transistor. Yeah. So we'll start on the Philips one first. This morning I went down to the shop. Third time lucky on the bus because it is a Sunday, and why isn't this displaying what it should? Oh, it doesn't matter. So we'll just move this around a bit. Okay, it's up on that. Here we go. Now, yes, so it's a Sunday and they've added buses, so the timetable runs every half hour, but the drivers seem to want to get around as quickly as possible, then get back to the station and have their little break. And the buses, the first one came about 5 minutes early. I thought I heard it, and then the so I waited at the bus stop for 10 minutes, and then because the bus crosses over down the bottom of the road where I get on, I saw the bus go past. So I went back home because I'm only about 3 minutes walk from the bus stop, and I got to the bus stop 10 minutes early that time, and again I almost immediately saw the bus going down, crossing over down the bottom of the road. And so the third time I went to the bus stop 15 minutes early, and it came 7 minutes early. So I'm going to ring the bus company tomorrow. I still can't drive. Yeah, I don't trust myself yet. Okay, let's start on this. We'll turn on the... So I'll get rid of this clock before the wrapping paper catches on fire with the soldering iron and everything. This is unplugged for some reason, or not some reason, but it's out of the way. So we'll do this. Now, can we move this over? Yep. If we untangle it from an Astor Mickey, which is a very curious thing. In fact, why don't I put this on the... No. That looks okay. Just wrapped around this cord. The wonders of live YouTubing or television or whatever you like to call it. So, when I went down to the shop this morning, I picked up my milk and stuff, and I also went to J-Car. Where's the camera? Yep. And I picked up these El Cheapo suntan brand. Very strange name for a capacitor, but we'll see how we go with them. They'll be perfectly alright for these radios. Now, why is that making a hissing noise? Well, yeah, hasn't been on for 7-8 months. might just see why that has suddenly gone all brown inside. Back you go. Just put that. No, we won't. We'll put this over here. Yeah, this has gone all brown inside, like something's exploded or something. Shouldn't have done that, should I? Huh. That's normally quite clear. So you can see the muck you're getting in, sucking up. Okay. Good. I'll have to clean that properly after this. Okay. Right. So let's do this one first. Now I think this radio worked, did it? Yeah. Okay. So we'll take that off and put it where everyone gets shorted out. Now we'll replace these little ones in here first. We'll have to do something with these cameras, I think. No. Okay, that'll do. Now we're going to replace this one first, and it is a what was it? I think it was a 10 or something like that. I noted before. It's it's an 8, which they of course didn't have. And that goes to that and that. Okay. Okay. It should come out. This is a bit fiddly. Don't want it on 400, so we'll just bring it down to 330. It's one of these fiddly boards. Good, and is that the one I said? Yep. Okay. I haven't done this for ages and ages. So what was this value? It fell in here, didn't it? There it is, inside the can. Okay, so this is the one of the offenders, little tiny Phillips jobby. 8 just says 8 microfarads on it. Doesn't have a voltage. Uh, 4 volts. Oh yeah, 4 volts. So now does the board have whether it plus and minus? Nope. Okay. There's my number 10s. Ten at 16. I think 16 was the smallest they actually had. I did put my clippers on here somewhere. Yep. Under all the 3D printing mess. So we'll trim that off a little bit to start with. And now assume plus 4 volts. So assume the end without the insulation on it is the positive. And now the $64 question, is this going to fit in here? Looks like it just. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but it'll go. Now, where's my thin solder. That's the thick stuff. Not very well organised, am I? Where's my thin solder? Oh, here it is. Right. Ooh, okay. What's happening? Why is it all... Okay. 10 miles of it. Okay, so this is quite tricky to get good contact on or access to. Where's the track gone? Don't tell me I've actually suckered the track off. Surely not. Where's that bend over there? This must just bend over onto that contact there. So we'll do that. Should give us something to solder to. Yes, you've got to be so careful with these older boards because the tracks come off of them by looking at them. And I probably had the solder sucker too hot. Or not hot enough, so we'll try... Yep. That should work. And we'll snip this off. And we'll see if we've still got some sound. Yep. Yep. Okay, let's do this other, I think it's this 10 at 16 or something. And that goes there, and that goes there. Might just... Okay. If you can hear me, please just confirm that there is sound. Okay, they got most of the solder off, but I'm being cautious on this one. So what I'll do is this camera keeps on moving. That's better. Yeah. Right, let's, what have we got to get in there? That one's out. And and good. So put those down there for a moment. So plus is that way 10 microfarads. Yeah. Where did I put the other 10s? 3.3. 470, I think that's off the other radio. 220. 3.3 again, different voltage. Ten at 16. And this one is, how many volts? 16. So this is 16 and this one 16. So that should be fine. usually go a little bit higher because the caps are much smaller these days. So I need to do this. It's not going in yet. Right. So what we might do is just clear this away. Why isn't it going in? Sorry if you're seeing the top of my head. That one's going in. And good, they're both through. So we'll do that. Bring this one over. And sit there. It's sticking to that pad. Better. Good. We'll trim this off. Now, good. Now I couldn't get 200 ones for down here, and the only ones easily available are 220s. So we're going to have to go with 220s. And I forgot there was one down in there on this amplifier board. Right. Just have a look at the comments. Good. Okay, someone's said the sound is okay, so I'll continue on my merry way. Just have a sip of my tea. I still might have to dash off to the bathroom or the toilet, as we call it here. That's the polite way of saying it. Okay, yeah, okay, let's disconnect the battery. Because, yes, after the surgery, it's been, what, 3 weeks now, and everything is going extremely well, but I still need to pee at a moment's notice. So, yeah. So where does this go? This one goes, okay, we'll pull this one out first. And we'll have a look at the other one. This isn't suckering very well today. Just wonder, I need to clean this out. Yes, I need to clean this out. It's blocked. Okay. So what I have to do is turn this right up. Sorry about this. It's better. Okay, well, it's clear at least, so we'll turn this down again. What do I normally have it on 2, don't I? So we'll do it 2 in a bit. Wait for it to cool a little bit. Still no. Not coming loose. Yep. Okay. Good. All right, let's see. I can at least see. This is microscopic, well, not microscopically thin, but it's quite a thin board. And it looks like it's made out of paper or something. Okay, that is loose. Just hoping to get it up high enough to see where the other lead went. On the end of that, no. Okay. Now, that's it. Okay, so okay, there's nothing over there, so it must be this one. Okay. That's better, that's how it should work. So that's one of them. Looks okay. We'll test all these after. No, I don't know about this one. We've still got the camera, yep. And where are my 220s? $470. I did buy them, I'm sure I did. 220. 470. Some under here. It's not it. 4.7. 3.3. 3.3, different voltage. What did I do with those? I'm sure I bought them. That is, yeah, 220. There's one of them. These are at, oh no, this is a 320. Now we'll have to have a look at and see if I've got any 320s. Typical, that's a 220, and I bet you, yeah, I just assumed they were all 220s. That's a 220 or 200. Bet you this is not a 200. Let's see down in there. Yeah, 320. So 320, 320, 200, 200. I've repaired these before, these little modules, and yeah, because they used them for probably 15 years or something ridiculous. Okay. So probably a 330 would be okay. I don't. Oh. 330 at 25. Yep, plenty of those. Yeah, they're Panasonic ones, I think. So, yeah, so these, where are we on that camera? So these are 330s Panasonic jobs, I think. So we'll just actually, no. Yeah, what did I rip that off for? And So negative was at the back, towards the centre of the radio board, and in you go. Fold you over. And forward. Let's do this. Yep. Go near the hole. Going everywhere but into the hole. That's better. Right. 1 down, 3 to go. This is the 200. And that one looks like center pin there. And that one there. So this one here and this one here. Oops. Wasn't this melting? There it goes. So much flux on this. The women at Hendon must have had a field day. Yes, this was made over in South Australia at a suburb of Adelaide called Hendon. Come on. Probably trim that off. Get it out. go. Again, we'll trim this bit off. Okay. So that is the 200. So where's my 220? Lost it again. Bugger. 470. Where did I put it? 220 at 16. 200 at 10. No, goes the other way around. So we're going to bend the leads a bit. Should sit in a bit better. Yep. Good. Come on. Yep. And okay. Again, we'll trim these leads off, making sure that don't get them in your eye. Come on. Already had to flick somewhere unknown doing this. Okay. Now the other side. I don't really know what this one is. Now where's this one going? That's the center. Where's, yep. So this goes into there and there. So it goes across that way. Okay, lifting the track there. Where's the screwdriver? I should bend this one over. So you might trim this one and then see if I can get it out that way. Yep. And this one. So here's the 320. And to the outside, I think. Okay. Oh, okay. A funny feeling. I've done that other 320 back to front. Ooh, okay. Don't do that. Get this through the track. Where it's lifted. Now we'll have to be extremely careful there. So just tack this in and see if it's the right way around. No, yeah. Okay. I should have taken a photo of that, but it's such a simple board. There's the battery. the volume controls come off. Or the plastic bit. Is that? Oh, I see. Yep. Well, it's still making noise. We'll do this up. Somewhere or another. Before we get any more nasty short circuits. This took me ages to get open. I'm just going to do it off of camera in a moment, but might just do that. So I want to see if I've got the capacitor the right way around. And of course that's not going to. So frustrating, these things, because they're... Is there a screw in there? No. Just a press fit thing. Typical Phillips. Got a plastic shaft on it. Wow. How cheap are them? There we go. All right. The amplifier's making a noise. Not 100% it's turning off. So we'll take this battery out again. Okay. Right. So we'll do the other capacitor up here, which has got brown stuff all over it. I don't know what that was. I wonder if this one's leaked, but yeah. So we'll do, where's the, this one's going to be a bit tricky. Oh, okay. So this one goes from there to there. So this must be a common negative. Yeah. And that's, yeah. Good. So we'll do those two. Reasonably clean. Come on. Wasn't this melting? Come on. It's blocked again. Can't be. No. Weird solder they used on this. Okay. Might be able to get it out. A bit of help from this soldering iron. Good. Now this one, no, it hasn't leaked, but it's got all brown stuff on it. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Yeah, there it goes, focusing. Yeah, so you see all that brown stuff on it? Okay. And this one is the 220, I think. Yeah, 200. So where is the 220s? Sure, I bought 4 of them. Oh, yep. To clean that up. Yeah, the battery that was in the Panasonic had leaked, and there's all the powdery blue stuff from the battery on the Lazy Susan there, and I put the this radio in on top of it, so yeah, it's not going to do it much good. It hasn't eaten away the plastic, so that's okay. So we'll clean that up in a minute. Yeah, maybe I didn't do okay. Yeah. Okay, I need a toilet break and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so what are we looking for? 220, quantity 4. $1.60 each. So they are here somewhere. I assume she counted them before putting them in the packet, in the little bag. It doesn't look like they, because there was 3 on one piece of paper, or one piece of tape, and then there was a loose one. Yeah, okay. Doesn't matter. I can afford $2 those missing caps. So let's have a look. Yeah, I've got some 6-point. One of those. Where's the other tray? Where did I put that? Because it was on the. There it is. Yeah. I wasn't going to use these nice Nichicons because these are expensive, but needs must. And the idiot next door is doing his engine. Actually, I've got a Panasonic in here. I think it's a Panasonic. Yeah, this will do. We had a common Sit in there, you. Ah. Oh no, that's just flux, I think. Perhaps that's flux on that capacitor. Either way, it's not particularly good, is it? Right. I don't know whether you can hear the idiot next door. Okay, it still didn't cover the hole. That's better. Good. Okay. Right. Now, which way around did this go? Twist the wires up completely. Down to the clips. Okay. And why they couldn't do that with this, yeah, I've just noticed, is that wire off there? I pulled that off, have I? Yeah, there's a wire off. Don't know where that went. Or is it just a tie? Hope I haven't pulled that off when I was doing. It's a black wire which comes over. That's not good. And it's definitely been soldered, so I can see a bit of solder on the very end of it. Well, it's not, this radio isn't going to work with that hanging off. And I don't know, because everything's in the top of the board. I don't know why this can won't. Well, I do know it's soldered. The can is soldered there. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull that off. What an absolute pain in the butt. Right, so let's get ready with the screwdrivers so we can pull it out. Okay, that's underneath there. Right. It's still not completely out. This is very frustrating. Break that one off as well. Okay. This completely comes off. Long last. Can I see where that wire connected to? Probably not. I'll have to look up the schematic. Yeah, wire has definitely come off. Oh, I see where it's come off. I'm not going to do that in a hurry. That's for sure. It's this red wire. Okay. Yep. Right, that does that radio for the moment. And he's turned his noisy car off. Okay. Right. Let's start on this Panasonic. So we'll put this battery over here. Drink my cold tea. Goes over there. And where's my capacitor tester? Okay, so let's do this 320. Ooh. So this is quite high, this one. It's 396. Well, we can see that. We'll go for the other camera. Might give a better view of it. Is that going to be, yep. Come on. Where's the focus? Come on. Yeah. Anyway, it's 396. The SR is 0.35, so that's not too bad. There's the other 390. Okay. And 407. What was the other? 320. $284 on the 200. $287 or $288. So these caps definitely needed changing. So 15, yeah, 16 on this 10. And last one, this is an 8, or labelled an 8. Open circuit low capacitance. So it's supposed to be an 8 and it's 16. So that's not good. Just as a curiosity, do one of these suntan caps. These are generally pretty awful. Actually, that's not too bad. This is a 10 and it's reading 10.98. Hardly precision, but it's within 10%. Just 10.5. Not great, but not terrible either. Okay, what time is it? 5:30. So I've got half an hour. Not feeling too bad this week. So in the bin, those blue Phillips caps. Now let's have a look at this one. Now the first thing to do would be to disconnect the aerial. Excuse me. Yep. So we'll disconnect the aerial. We can get rid of the, or the telescopic aerial, I should say. Come on. Oh, okay. There we go. So we can get rid of this. Now this one does work. It's a shortwave telescopic antenna, by the way.
Ultimate Paradise, 4410 and 810 for Zeppin Joston Porter. We'll have a photo for the miners confirmed in a moment, and they're moving up now, Globe Derby. Number 4.
Okay, but it should sound better than that. And because I'm going to delete last week's video, yeah, this one is unusual in that it is made in People's Republic of China, HDK. So, or HDK, whatever that is. So, People's Republic of China, registered trademark B, HDK-C. So the HDK-C must be the board number. So I didn't think that Panasonic started making things in China till a bit later than that. Because this would be made in the mid-70s, I would think. Don't tell me this is... No. Thought this was going... That was threaded. At least they're nice bright red screws, so I won't lose them. Okay, so we'll take the batteries out. I always like Panasonic because they always had that little orange strap to get the batteries out. And it's getting a bit easier again to get D cells. For a while I thought they were disappearing completely. And I had to go into what we call here the reject shop. During the pandemic, because that was the only place I could get them at the time. Now what's holding this in? It's underneath there. This should come out. Okay. Yep. Has this assembled. Okay, so the dial cord and everything is on in the front of it. So one thing. So this comes up like so. There's the push-pull output pair underneath this heat shield. It's stopping it. Probably download the schematic for this. But, oh, I see. So it's got to come up and there's wires underneath there under tension. So what do we do? So that one, it's not going to come out, is it? No, that's single moulding by the looks of it. Yeah, that's the Vic Emergency app. And yeah, there's still bushfires down here. And because it is so dry, it's got to come out somehow or another. That's going to, that one's pulling on that goes underneath there, around and over there. So I might have to pull off the wire to the power. And unloop this one. That's better. Yep. Right. I'll part the way. Okay, here we go. Very nice. And none of the electrolytics are hidden by the dial wheel there. That's very nice. So if we do that, no, the negative there, so that must be the ground plane for the negative. And that goes around to that one, that goes around to that. Yeah, so it's super dry down here, and we really haven't had any rain since this time, or yeah, probably this time last year, of any significance. And the dams are getting very dry, and there's no water in the farmers' dams, and yeah, the ground is absolutely parched. It's still brown out here, and it's normally lush green at this time of the year. So yeah, it's not good, not a good situation. Now, are these marked? Yep, negative. So we can do this one and this one. So I'm going to not use the electric sucker because that wheel being there. And we'll just do this very gently. Pull this out. This looks like a more modern board. It looks, yeah, it's got a conformal coating on it. So we'll take that one out. So it went that way. Okay, so that's the battery on that camera. And it is getting power in, so I don't know why it's not running as long as it should. It should be running it quite a long time. There's my solder sucker. There's one. No, I'm not facing the camera. Good. Okay. Yeah, this was the 470, wasn't it? .470 at 16 volts. My glasses somewhere were always putting them in the way. Excuse me. Have a very dry throat. And the negative went in. Yes, I wish I put the other tip on the soldering iron. This one's a little bit big. this sort of work. Well, it's not huge, this tip. The other one is much smaller. Good. Okay. Now, just wondering if I get a clip lead, whether I can test this as we go along. Yeah. And we'll monitor the sound and see whether we get an improvement as we go. Oh, that's a big one. Don't need that. Move the way. Yeah. Where was the volume control? Right. Right. Batteries. Yes, these Vartas were made in Germany before they sold the company to Eveready. And now they're made in China. So let's have a listen, see if we've got an improvement. Goes down.
We'll take those numbers at Cranbourne and head to Grafton before the running of race number 3.
Yeah, runners heading to the boxes here. Merck Epifanio, the favourite way here, $3.30 into $3.10.
Wow, that's made a huge difference already.
550 Zigzag Zeal, Two-Fisted, 650 and solid at that quote. Lumper Punches, 8 into 7. And heading the rest, Barney Google, with a little bit of support, 11.
It's the band switch was the...
First line moves in. Second line of Polarised, R to 9. Far West Lass and Clairtown Raider follows suit. Third race from Broken Hill.
Third race from Broken Hill. I think all these race callers need their adenoids looked at. Okay. Let's get back to this. Okay. So the next one is a little bit more tricky. So that is facing, negative is facing the tuning gang. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can just get in there. I think. Right. one is out. And, oops, careful. Come on. And this one is almost out. Come on. And this one's gone back in again. And this one's out. Okay. Good. Now we do have a good clear hole for the only the tuning wheel. This is a bit awkward. So there's wires in the way and the volume control wheel. Come on. Come on. That's it. Now I should clean off that. Something shorting across to there. Okay. Don't think that's don't know about that. Right, so we'll do the other one. Now, what did I say? Negative to the tuning gang, wasn't it? Let's check that. Yeah. Don't do that. That's better. And right. I'm not sure if that... There's a large soldered area where the screw goes through from the back. And yeah, I don't know whether that is actually connected to that. I'll get a multimeter in a second and we'll test it. Now this is going to be tricky, getting in here without burning anything. Good. One done. And two done. I've just really shorted that across. Oh, well, we'll find out in a moment. Clean that up in a moment. Can't get the clippers in underneath. Going that way. Good. Now, let's still work with that shorted across to that plane. No. Okay. That shouldn't be shorted. Did his door now. Okay. That's definitely the right way around, isn't it? Yep. And this was stuck to this one, and oh, I know what it is. Duh. Duh, Mr. Renault.
Smokestack, 850 into 750, it's double figures to 1, 3 and 8. Like 6, I've gone 4, 6, 3 and 2, race 2, Rockhampton and 3.5.
That is made. That has made a remarkable difference, this change in those two capacitors.
Ready now. And they're off, away and racing, so likeable left well, Queen Sacrifice, wide around, never sober. No dust on me is fourth early, Kalita going through on the in.
And it still sounds like a 1970s transistor radio, but yeah. Yeah, we've got 4 more to go. And while I'm feeling okay, I'm not going to push myself. So thanks for watching and tuning in, and I believe the sound was working this time. And yeah, I'll be back this time next week on the Sunday, and we'll continue on with this little Panasonic cheap transistor. Well, it's not a cheap transistor radio. This was a fairly middle of the range model, and it must have been prior to about 1974, 75, because it doesn't only has shortwave and not FM. I'm just going to have a look in my little catalogue and see if it's in there. I don't think it is, because I'm pretty sure this is before then. If I can find it quickly, otherwise I'll show you next week. No. No, it's not immediately accessible. Place it is. Yeah, that's the 4th bushfire warning in the last 2 hours. So this is the Panasonic, or National, as it was back then. National Australia. Yeah, so I doubt that they would have been able to sing the song "There Is So Much More to National." If it was so much more to Panasonic, it just wouldn't sound the same. Is that it? That's a sort of a variation on it. If we can get this to not burn out. Come on, you can change. No. Yeah, it's a 217R, and this is what, a 223R. Not that the numbers mean that much. No, it must have. So it's definitely before 1977. Yeah, because these are all FM. Yeah. So this one. This is just an AM portable. This is sort of this model, but a variation on it. 500 milliwatts output. This one is still shortwave, and then we get into the FM ones. FM. They were a nice radio. I wish I could find another one of those. FM, I've got one of those. I don't know where I put it. Obviously FM and shortwave. So can't remember seeing one of those. I've seen a couple of those in my time. That's got 1.5 watts output. That'd be loud. Yeah, that's another sort of, yep. And that one, FM, AM, VHF, public service band. So that was for the police. You could listen to the police on that one. Someone had that one when I was at school. Someone had this one as well. This was a really nice radio. And FM medium wave and 2 short waves. I fixed a couple of these ones. And FM medium wave marine and 2 shortwaves. And a friend of mine's got one of these hidden away in his garage somewhere. Must fix it for him. This one is FM, medium wave, shortwave 1 to 4, and it's got the gyroscopic antenna on it. This one is my daily user in the bedroom. FM, medium wave, shortwave, and actually 3 shortwaves. And that runs all night because I can't stand the silence here. That one I've got in the other room, the DR22. That's quite a nice radio. And of course this one, the RF8000, which I've seen on eBay for $10,000, a Canadian one, and that has got 24 bands on it. So 8 VHF, 2 marine, 12 shortwave, long wave, and medium wave. Yeah, and the rest of this is clock radios and radio cassettes. School had a few of those because they were cheap and nasty. That one, no. Where is it? Not this one, not this one. Is it this one? FM. Yeah, it was this one here. And a friend of mine had this one and it stopped working and just threw it in the bin. This was about 3 years ago. And I absolutely killed him. These were quite nice, although they had the military type of speaker on them. That was quite a high model. That had FM, medium wave, and 3 short waves, and it had chrome tape on it. And of course, this beauty up here had everything on it. And there was 2 stereo ones. This cheapy, which one was the? This one looks better. It's probably an older model. And this one, yeah, it's got the military type speakers on it. Yeah, then there was the Panasonic, the national branded cassette decks. Not their particularly high ones because their higher models were branded Technics. And yeah, mini cassettes or a Walkman style thing. So this one recorded, that one recorded, that one was micro cassette, and these are, that's a portable cassette recorder. Interesting, that one. And it's got the wood grain on it, so it's probably designed for America. This one is the dictating machine, and I've got a Yamaha cassette deck in the garage with these buttons on it. I probably can't see the buttons. Oh, yes, you can. Yep. Walkie-talkies, car radios, CB radios. Cassette stereo things for under the dash. Before they were mostly integrated into radios, and sound boosters. I'm glad they don't call it an amplifier. And the speakers, and then their other range of speakers, a bare speaker, and this one, this is quite interesting. It's a powered speaker. and we can see that little powered speaker. So the idea's been around for quite a long time. They're power adapters for the car, they're micro cassettes, they're cassettes, and the Neo high top batteries. Don't know if we can see that. Where's the, yep, that's it. So Neo high top batteries with a metal outer case. So that's it, and that's the end of the stream for today. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week, all being well. Yeah, so bye for now. I'll also do some other Valve Radios main videos. Okay, so see you later.